So welcome back everyone to another video. In this one, I'm gonna react to a very popular video from my competition Brad Browning on how to make your ex miss you. Now as you may know, I'm not really a fan of Brad Browning. I think that the things he teaches are very unhealthy for an individual, and I think he's also selling false hope. Meaning he's presenting this idea of getting an ex back as something that is easily achievable. You just need to know a few tricks, a few tactics, and that's it. In reality, that's not the case, obviously. But from a general standpoint, while there is a lot of things I disagree with Brad Browning, there may be a few things that we can agree upon, and maybe we can find them in this video. And by the way, if you're new here, go check out maxjancar.com/reattraction cheat sheet. I'll post the link below this video. Basically, what you can get is you can download a one-page free PDF with all the details, basically detailing your path from being single to getting your ex back. So if you want that, maxjancar.com/reattraction cheat sheet. And now let's get into the video.
If you want to get back together with your ex, you're going to need them to miss you. That's a simple fact of life. If you want to get them back, your ex must miss you. So how do you make them miss you? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video.
So the first thing Brad says, I'm going to agree with it. If you want your ex back, you must get them to miss you. However, here's one thing that Brad doesn't tell you. Maybe he forgets, maybe he does it on purpose, who knows? Maybe it's not even that important. But I feel you need to hear it. And that is that, yes, your ex missing you has to happen for them to want to get back together with you. However, sometimes those two things happen in vacuum. Now what do I mean by this? An ex who misses you may not actually always want you back.
The first thing you need to understand is that you can't convince your ex to get back together with you. No amount of words, begging, pleading, or trying to convince them is going to make that happen. They need to organically and naturally want to get back together with you. And if they miss you, then that's going to stimulate those feelings of wanting to get back together with you because they miss you. And the way to stifle that pain of missing you is to get back together.
So this is another thing I agree with Brad. You cannot force your ex to miss you. You can't even cajole or manipulate or kind of push them into wanting that. You can, by the way, encourage or inspire them to miss you. Now, the way you do this is by becoming a better person, working on yourself, working on the issues that maybe plagued your relationship. Maybe you were bad at boundaries. If you work on that could inspire your ex to come back. When they see you actually, having boundaries, if your problem was that you were very needy, very possessive and clingy, right? Working on that is gonna help you inspire your ex or encourage them to come back, to maybe give you another shot, to at least throw an eye on you. But you can't, as Brad said in a million fucking years, you can't force them to come back. No amount of pleading and begging, drooling all over them is gonna help you do that. In fact, if you do that, you're just going to turn them off even more. So let's continue.
Now, let's think about just more broadly, what makes you miss someone or something? Well, it's when you become used to having something or someone in your life. You become comfortable with them. It becomes part of your daily routine. They become integrated into your life, just like your ex was. You were there for them. You called them every day. Maybe they woke up beside you every day. Maybe you saw them every night after work. Whatever it was, they were a major part of your life, and you were a major part of their life.
So before I let Brett talk more, I just want to mention a simple plug, not affiliated with it at all. What he's right now describing is a very cool psychological concept known as a shared identity or a fused identity, or even I think some psychologists call it a couple's identity, although I may be wrong. If you want to know more about that, and in general how to use the concept to maintain a healthy relationship or to maintain a fulfilling relationship, there's a really cool book by the OG of relationship advice, John Gottman, that you can buy. It's called something like 7 Principles of Making a Marriage Work. All in all, great book. Go pick it up if the topic interests you.
So in order to make them miss you, what do you have to do? Well, you have to disappear, completely vanish off their radar. That's the very best way to make someone miss you. They were comfortable having you around, they were so used to it, it was part of their life, and then all of a sudden, boom, cold turkey, you're gone. And that's really going to stimulate those feelings of missing you. And that's something you absolutely need if you want to get them back. It has to be natural, and making them miss you is the most natural way of doing that.
Sometimes, and look, I know this video is targeted toward a younger demographic. My videos are also kind of targeted toward a younger demographic, but just for anyone who's maybe a little bit older, has a bit more relationship length than an average person, yes, sometimes vanishing completely, as Brad recommends, is impossible. You maybe have kids with your ex, maybe you live together, maybe you work together, or you work on a shared project together. In those cases, what you need to do is, sure, limit contact. However, don't be afraid of actually having conversations like a normal human being with your ex. Maybe you have to decide who will take care of the kid over the weekend. Do it. Have a talk about it. Maybe you need to decide that one of you is gonna have to move out so you can get through this breakup easier, and one of you will have to, I don't know, go live with your parents, for example, with their parents. Well, feel free to have these sorts of conversations. The thing you want to focus on is not to get these conversations too heated or too emotional, because that's when you or your ex could say something very mean or something hurtful, and you're just going to blow shit up and you're going to be entrenched in this kind of chaotic dynamic. You don't want that. It doesn't help getting your ex back, and it certainly doesn't help actually, feeling better and growing and healing from your breakup.
So, how do you disappear completely in a very practical way? I mean, of course, you can't just magically poof, be gone from their life. It's always more complicated than that. But this is where the 30-day no contact rule comes in. Maybe you've heard about this before on the internet, you've read about it. Essentially, what the no contact rule is it basically means for the 30 days after your breakup, the first 30 days after your breakup, you don't talk to your ex at all.
Oh yeah. Now we're on the no contact topic. Now this is a big one, guys. This is something I take very seriously. I wrote on my website, maxjancar.com, already like a 1,500 or 2,000 word article on why I think these time limited 30, 45, 60-day no contact periods, stuff like that, are a total scam. First of all, let's be honest. What does a person do when they hear an expert tell them, you have 30 days where you cannot contact your ex? They usually don't work on themselves. And even if they do, the main thing in their mind is, okay, I just have to force myself through this period. I'm not gonna contact my ex. And they usually just twiddle their thumbs and just mope and do almost nothing for their own personal growth. They're just waiting for that proverbial timer to go off, that 30-day mark, let's say, that says to their brain, okay, now you're quote-unquote allowed to contact your ex. And then they screw everything up because they, actually didn't grow as a person, they haven't addressed or managed their mistakes, their shortcomings as a partner, as a person. And then they just screw up their relationship again. They usually don't even get their ex back. And since we're already on this topic, let me just also put forward, again, you can read this on my article on why you shouldn't contact your ex on maxjancar.com. There's also an audio article, I think, here on my YouTube channel about it. It just makes you look needy. You chasing after your ex, even if it's with one single message, after you've been dumped, it's needy. And it's really unattractive. It's usually gonna do way more harm than good. Like, sometimes people just don't get it. These people, Brad Brownings, Chris Seiters, Clay Andrews, they're telling you what you want to hear. Because let's be fucking honest, you don't want to right now hear. Don't contact your ex anymore. You need to move on, you need to forget about them, you need to drop all expectations of reconciliation. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear wait X amount of days and then fight for your love and then contact them, even though that advice is not only bloody stupid in terms of reattracting an ex because it's not attractive, it's also not great for your mental health. You are hindering your personal growth and recovery in the process of doing so and approaching no contact with that mindset. It's not a good way to do these things. So what I always propose in this case, forget about 30 or 60 or 45 day no contact periods. Just let your ex go for good. Like I said, drop all expectations that you are ever gonna reconcile. If your ex ever contacts you down the line, if they reach out, just set a date. Have fun, hang out, you're gonna be just fine in that case. And if they reject you, go no contact, indefinite no contact again. I go, by the way, way more in depth into this in my video on how to get an ex back, which I'll link somewhere right now. You can go watch that. But anyway, enough of me rambling about it. Let's go back and see what Brad Browning has to say.
Making your ex miss you, at the same time, it also helps to make your ex let go of some of the negative memories that they have of you and your relationship. Over time, as they begin to miss you more and more, and as they approach that 3-week peak of missing you, they'll start to let go of some of the negative memories, and they'll start to forget, even if it's on a conscious level, why they decided to break up with you in the first place.
So just to be very clear, this is another kind of gray area a lot of these experts preach about. What Brad is currently describing is called the confirmation bias. And it's not it doesn't go exactly, or it doesn't work exactly as he's telling you it works. Again, if you ask me, my opinion totally, not making any allegations, this is just a version of the confirmation bias you want to hear. In reality, what a confirmation bias is a psychological mechanism that goes like this. When you drag your life's timeline far enough, basically when a lot of time passes since your breakups, maybe that's 3 weeks, maybe that's 2 months, depends on the person, and nostalgia enters the picture, what will happen is that the negative feelings around certain memories your ex has of you will start to fade. It's not, as Brad and other experts say, it's not about them forgetting about the negative aspects of your relationship. It's that when they remember them, let's say they remember on certain argument you have, it doesn't hurt them emotionally as much anymore as it used to. And of course, that tendency paves the way for them to feel more positive emotions instead. If you want to learn more, go to my website, maxjancar.com, and sign up for your free reattraction cheat sheet. maxjancar.com/reattraction cheat sheet. Again, it's a one-page PDF. It gives you quick information about every step of getting your ex back, like reaching out, how to do it, when to do it, how to date your ex, some good ways to date your ex, how to set a date, how to transition into a relationship, how to handle no contact, where to focus your self-improvement efforts, all the 9 yards. It's a really cool resource I made. A lot of people love it. I think you will too. And with that out of the way, I'll see you later. Take care.